Hey guys, and welcome to the player ratings for Minnesota United 0, Colorado 1. The boys go out to Colorado for this weekend, and they played ooh, poorly, very poorly. It was an international weekend, or international break is going on, so we will be without Kevin Molino for the remainder of Trinidad and Tobago's Gold Cup stint. Jan Gregus is gone with Slovakia, and Rasmus Schuler is gone with Finland for the UEFA Nations League. So they're playing in those, and we'll be back after the Nations League is done. Kevin will be back when Trinidad and Tobago are out of the Gold Cup. Um, and Roman Montier is with Madagascar in the African Cup of Nations, and hopefully for the sake of our team, they do not make it out of the group stage, but wish nothing but the best for him. It was clear that we are missing some of these players in our lineup because it showed on the pitch. It was poor. We missed Montier just like when he was gone on his yellow card suspension. It was clear as day. We missed him. Our right side lacked. They just couldn't do anything without Roman bombing up that right side, and it was poor, 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 poor. Gregus was missing in the midfield. You could tell at times. Even though I thought Olom played all right in that spot, his first MLS start. But let's just get into the lineup and do some player ratings. So Vita Malone starts in goal, and man, he was looking shaky in many parts. You can tell our set pieces. He sometimes he comes off and he's not. He needs to either commit to coming off the line or not, because there's times where he gets caught in no man's land a lot. Like the last couple weeks, he hadn't been to blame for a lot of these goals, and then he can't be to blame for this goal this week. But there were many chances that Colorado squandered that they could have easily scored it, and Vito was caught out nowhere. I really don't think Vito's the answer. Haven't seen much of Bobby in a while, so um, I don't know. I think a lot is needed in this transfer window. I know we're not going to go get a goalkeeper because Vito is obviously going to be our number one, um, but it would be nice to have someone who, when they're in net, you feel comfortable. Because personally, for me, sometimes a lot of the game I don't feel comfortable with him in the net. He's shaky and some of this. Uh, but he's not to blame for the goal tonight. But I'd say he just gets a 4 out of 10. Poor, poor game from everyone actually. So it's not going to be great ratings. Iko Para is to blame for the goal. His man on the corner scores the goal, and it's just can't let your guy beat you in the air like that and score the goal, because it just that was his guy. It was clear that there was this guy on the man mark, and he gets beat, and they go up 1-0 on a corner, and the corners and set pieces before that we were having trouble, so you could just tell it was something was gonna give. Um, Unfortunately, that was Ike, and other than that, he played a pretty well game defensively. I thought there were times where we were really compact and sound at defense, and then there was other times where we got lackluster and out and gave them some really good opportunities that they should have scored. I will give Vito credit for the save at the end where the whole line just lets him go, and they don't. The whole back line lets him go because they think Vito's coming out when he was not, and he does make a good save at his near post. But I'd have to give him 4, 3, 4 out of 10. Again, poor. Brett Coleman did well most of the night. Times where he gave the ball away, and there are times where he was caught out on defense. I'll have to give him a 5 because he's not to blame for the goal. And I thought he might have been the best out of the defenders. Maybe Dotson might have played a little better. Dotson had his worst game so far, but it wasn't poor by any means. He played pretty well. Couple squandered opportunities, and a couple times caught out on defense, but he also cleaned up for a couple times for Boxel and Coleman and Opara, all three of them actually. But he played all right, and I'd say I'd give him a 5 out of 10. But overall, the defense did not play very good against. I mean, only giving up one goal might be a little bit being harsh, but they had many opportunities and were by far the better team. Boxel, it's clear that he's going to have to play at center back because he cannot play at left or right back. He was very poor and actually gets taken off in like the 50-some minute. He gets taken off. Yeah, 57th minute. Didn't even make it the full 60. Gasper thankfully came on, but yeah, he doesn't even make the whole 60 minutes. I have to give Boxwell a 3. He was playing out of position, played absolutely horribly. Olam comes into the team. First MLS start since coming over from Portland, and his first start for the Minnesota Soccer Club since back in the NASL days. So it's nice to have Olam back in Minnesota, but I thought there were times where he played all right for spells, and then there was times where he played poor for spells. He had a couple really good passes, and I thought he really got into the game later into the game. I think at halftime he really got more into the game for sure, and once I think he came back more to that defensive role, I thought he played maybe a little bit better. But Ozzy's clearly going to be our number one there, but it's nice that Olam can move around in that midfield. I thought he played all right, and I'll have to give him a 5 out of 10. Yeah, I guess a 5 out of 10 because he did play a little bit better in the second half, so we'll do that. Ozzy played not his greatest game. I'll just have to give him a 5 out of 10, really. Got stuck in, but really got subbed out later, but wasn't his best game. And Miguel, I'd have to give him a 5 out of 10, 4.5 maybe. There are times I don't know what he offers in the final third sometimes. I haven't seen a lot of this attacking from anyone, actually, but Miguel is a hard worker and he works real hard, but he needs to get a goal or something, help this team get a goal. He needs to also calm down a bit on the pitch. I like the passion that he shows and stuff. But sometimes he needs to simmer down after he doesn't get a call from these refs, who missed a couple calls here and there, but we're not to blame for our loss by any means. Finley played very poorly, actually. Had a couple opportunities. I almost forgot about this in the match reaction that he did in the first half. Have a great ball from Darwin that he should have put his foot through and shot on the left side of the net, but shanks it wide to the right and comes off his foot, and it's just an awful strike. And really, where you really got to be creating something off of that, getting a shot on target, making the goalkeeper do something. You can't be letting him get out that easily, especially when I believe it might have been 0-0 at the time. But it was pretty early. Definitely should have put it away, and it could have changed the whole game. But I'd say I'll give Finley a 4 out of 10. He got subbed out later for Abu. Angelo played pretty poorly a couple times. Yeah, there was a couple hold-up plays, but I'll give him a 4 out of 10. He played poorly and wasn't able to do much, and just wasn't able to do much either. And I don't know what we need to give him, maybe better service or something, but he might need to also create a couple shots. His build-up play wasn't even there tonight, and that's usually something that's there. But yeah, it's just a poor game, and Darwin just doesn't seem to be on the same wavelength as everyone else. At the end of the game, we have a free kick, and everyone else, they got all these big guys in the box, Gasper, and you think he's going to put the ball on, and he puts it on the ground away to goal, and Angelo was furious at him, and feel like Darwin doesn't even know sometimes what he's doing, and he really needs to figure out what's going on. It really is mind blowing, but also give him a 4 out of 10. Him and Angel rapport tonight. Go into the subs lastly. Get this done quick, hopefully. Um, Gasper, it was nice to see him come on. Picks up a yellow card on his debut. At the end, he had a couple challenges necessary to break up the play. Overall, played all right, pretty well, and we got forward a bit. I give him a 5 out of 10, 5.5. Abu Dhali came on and did a little bit. Got involved a little bit in the final third play. Was really the player that really does something good, and then he does something equally as bad a lot. And I think tonight he kept that to a minimum and did some good things. A couple bad shots that he had a volley that he got under, but it's gonna happen. But I can't say that Abu was our worst performer tonight, and I would just have to give him a solid 5 out of 10. Didn't have much to do being a sub, and then Colin Martin surprisingly comes on for Alonso, and Allum shifts back into the center defensive role, and Martin takes Allum's spot in the midfield and played pretty well. In the 66th minute, he gets subbed on, and he plays pretty well the last 30 minutes of the game, really. And I thought he got our play moving and was able to move the ball forward and help get us in better situations, get the ball forward a little bit. Really didn't need him to break up the play too much, and he did pretty well. Drew a couple fouls, and I think gives him a yellow card. Picked up one. He didn't pick up one himself, but was able to get the other player one. And Darwin also picks up a yellow card at the end of the game, so keep that in note. So eventually might pick up a suspension if he accumulates too many more of those. But that's my player ratings overall. Very poor performance and a 1-0 loss to Colorado Rapids, who are at the bottom of the West going into this game. Not sure where they're at now. We are still in 6th in a playoff spot, but we need to really turn around this bad form. And we go again on Wednesday against Sporting Kansas City in a U.S. Open Cup match, so hopefully we can make a cup run or something. That'd be really nice to do. But as always, come on, you loons.